Okay, so let's get started here. So welcome back to our career health session. Today is our fourth session together. And today we are talking about red flags and green flags related to career health. And if you missed one of the previous sessions, you can find all recordings on my YouTube channel. Yeah, you already know me, but for those of you who are going to watch the recording, I'm just going to do a brief introduction here of myself. And so my name is Tina Marie Heinrich, but you can just call me Tina. You can see here on the slide my background. So I already have an MBA, a Master of Science and a Bachelor of Arts, majors in Human Resources and Global Supply Chain Management. And I'm currently completing my Master of Arts in Counseling Psychology, graduating next month, which is pretty exciting. I have I am a chartered professional in human resources, meaning I have my CPHR, and I am a Society of Human Resource Management certified professional, or also called SHRM CP. And what I bring here to the table today are over 15 years of combined corporate experience, including trauma-informed HR, leadership, staff management, organizational development, and marketing. And I'm combining this with a clinical lens. Okay, so let's look at our agenda for today. So we will start with doing our quick check-in, same as we normally do. And then I will spend a bit of time talking about personal green flags, yellow flags, and red flags, and how this relates to career health. Then we will do our individual activity for today, which I'm going to call mapping your flags. And then we will do a breakout session to talk through your signals. So we might just do it here in the main room. And then we will do the takeaway and closing. Okay, so for today's check-in, staying with today's topic, on a travel light scale, how does your current career setup feel today? So you have some examples here on the slide. So green is kind of like, yeah, it feels mostly okay, sustainable enough. Yellow is more like, it's okay, but something feels off. And red is like something feels not okay, or whatever is going on right now doesn't feel sustainable. Since we're talking about red flag and green flags today, and I already introduced the traffic light system here, let's talk about it in more detail. So green flags are referring to that you feel mostly steady, and of course, you may experience some stress from time to time because it is a normal part of daily life and our professional life, but it still feels manageable. And also with a green flag, it means you are able to recover with rest, and you still feel like you have meaning in the work you do, and you feel like you have pretty good energy. Somebody who is reporting yellow, like more at the yellow flag right now, is probably experiencing something like feeling a little bit of like lower energy on certain days, but not always, or maybe experiencing feeling tired at times, or being irritable. And you may notice thoughts like, I just have to get through this more often, kind of like pushing yourself through your day. And to give an example, maybe for somebody who is in practicum. So for somebody who is currently in practicum and feels they are at the yellow flag, they might start feeling like some kind of resentment towards their practicum or job, or maybe they lose some level of curiosity with clients, and things tend to become a bit more mechanical, to the point where at times you don't care as much. That would be an example here. And somebody who would mention being at a red flag right now, this is where usually persistent feelings of anxiety shows up combined with physical symptoms, and we see more often ethical distress. People who report red flags often mention they're feeling stuck or trapped, and they have a lot of fantasy of just quitting everything. Um, so an example might be somebody just might be trying every single day, might be saying, "Oh, I just cannot do this anymore. I'm going to quit," and so on. Um, I do want to highlight that the examples here on the slide are more in general, like things that might show up, but a red flag, yellow flag, or green flag might look slightly different for people. Um, in terms of career health, this is really about creating awareness for ourselves, noticing our own signs and signals, checking in with ourselves. Are we at red, yellow, or green? And so this way we can actually respond, intervene, and also seek help before we hit a wall, especially when we are already in the yellow area. We want to avoid that we go into the red area. Any questions about this so far?
No, it's pretty clear. I like this layout because it kind of expands a bit more on each of the flags. I'm wondering, like, you could feel a bit of an overlap too sometimes between the two stages or three stages, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it tends to be fluent at
Hmm.
times, which makes it a bit harder to actually spot in
Yeah.
which area you are in.
But you want to see kind of like mostly where do you fall?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So given that you mentioned you are in a green flag right now, and
Yeah.
given what I just shared with you here on the slide, do you still feel like the green flag is where you're in right now?
Yeah, I would say for the most part, it's the green flag.
Okay. Right. When you say most part, when we say like a percentage between, 0 and 100%, what percentage would you say you are in green?
Oh, I'd say like 90%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. I just wanted to see, because if it was like more like, 50 or 60%, I would say like, oh, okay, maybe it's more, in the yellow
Yeah.
area, but 90 is definitely in the green flag area.
Yeah. And I think the other 10% is just the unknown because I'm in practicum and right now it's not quite the career, but it was like at the very start and there's a lot of unknowns that I'm going to come up against.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's totally normal. I think
Yeah.
we all have been there, and we are going to be there for,
For a
for
while.
the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. So very normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for sharing this. Um, all right. So this brings us to our individual activity. Um, so before I set the timer here, I will just go through the activity first. Okay, so for this activity that we call mapping our flags, we're going to start by taking a piece of paper and dividing it into three small sections. Um, so one is green, one is called yellow, and one is called red. And basically, the intent of this activity is to list a few signs under each column. So we would start with the green flag column first. So where everything still feels okay. And basically, what you would do is writing down a few signs for yourself that tell you that things are still okay for you or sustainable enough, meaning what you're doing right now is something you can continue doing for the next year or 2 year or even 3 years without fear of you might be running on low or on empty or even burning out. And so signs could be about your body, could be about your mood, or could be about your behavior. And then under yellow, so this is step two. It's kind of like, the caution area. Same thing, just listing a few signs with regards to your body, mood, behavior, or even thoughts that might indicate for you that you're sliding towards, the unsustainable area, towards the red area. And the step number three here is same thing. We're just doing it for the red flags, just listing signs regarding your body, mood, behavior, or thoughts, or other signs that you are, but what you're doing is unsustainable. You are pretty much at risk of burnout, so something needs to change. And yeah, when you're done with those first three steps, then you will do step number four, which is about circling one yellow or red flag that you feel safe to pay attention to right now. Doesn't have to be something that you're experiencing right now. Could be just something that you feel might or may not happen in the future. And then basically, if this does happen in the future, but could be one gentle response to basically counteract this, to kind of move the needle back to the yellow or green area.
I can share. I think for a green flag, um, I said like where I look forward to each day.
Mm,
So that's a sign for me that things are like I'm happy where I am and things are going well.
mhm,
And for the yellow or red flag that I circled, um, I said like if I find myself like skipping my workouts, or like being irritable, so that's a red flag for me or a yellow flag for me that something's, the skipping workouts could indicate that I'm not getting enough rest,
mhm,
and the irritability could be a red flag to say that, I'm not um like something's wrong, something needs attention,
mhm.
because that would be out of the normal for me.
Yes, I'm hearing like a clear indication for you that you are in the green flag area is you are looking forward to every day.
Hmm.
Um, and yellow would be, for example, you notice yourself skipping workouts, which is kind of like a warning sign for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, and have you? I'm curious. Were you able to think about, for example, if you notice yourself skipping workouts? What are you going to do in a situation like this to get yourself back into maybe the yellow or green area?
I wrote down that I could look at my schedule to see if like am I stretched too thin? Am I doing too much? And if it's not the quantity, I could look at like the quality of work. Um,
Mm,
like is something in the work that I'm doing not sitting right with me? Maybe it
mhm,
could be that some of the cases that I'm taking on are outside of my scope, or I don't feel comfortable. Maybe I could ask for more support. Hasn't happened yet, but I'm just guessing what it could be. So I
mhm,
think I would just look at what am I doing that is maybe kind of throwing me off a little bit.
mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like that, especially as you mentioned, checking your calendar and not just the quantity, but also about the quality of work.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because very often, we tend to be focused just on the quantity side of things, how many sessions do I have scheduled, how many other things are going on in my life.
Yeah.
Um, but I really like the perspective of looking at the quality as well.
Yeah. And then there's also like it could be like, oh, it's only 3 sessions a day, but if it's three back-to-back sessions and I don't have a break in between,
Mm,
and then it's like I've gone 3 hours without like a a snack or something to eat. And maybe that's like a sign for me because I don't do well with going long periods of time.
Mhm.
So that's something that I know about myself. So that would be a warning sign for me as well to maybe schedule in some more breaks or just spread my sessions out a little bit more. So
Yeah,
that's the other stuff I
absolutely.
wrote down. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
that's
thank you
kind
for
of what I
sharing.
mean by quality as well. Like just
Yeah.
not just like the intensity of my schedule, but like the quality of my schedule.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing this, especially this example. I think, yeah, that really helps to fully understand what is an example with regards to quality of schedule,
Yeah.
right? Because to your point, yeah, 3 sessions back to back can certainly be different compared to three sessions spread out throughout the day.
Yeah.
And
Like if I have a 15-minute break between each session, or I'm just going from like one to the next, then it's
yeah, yeah, I think we all have been there. That's definitely different. Having a little bit of a break in between sessions, time for a snack or for a short walk definitely can make it feel different.
yeah. Like a little reset between sessions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay. All right. Um, good. Yeah, and I'm also glad you mentioned, that those things haven't really happened for you yet, but it sounds like you have a plan in place now. If you notice like a yellow flag showing up in the future, then you have the plan you just created today, like what you can do,
hmm
like what. So that's really
Yeah.
helpful. Okay. All right. And yeah, that already brings us here to our last slide for today, which is about, yeah, takeaways and our closing. Um, yeah, so I have some prompts here on the slide. So I'll leave it up to you if you want to answer any of those prompts or all of them. Um, yeah, your choice.
I think I'll need some time to kind of respond to these prompts, but in general, my takeaway is that I haven't done this exercise before, is we usually plan on how we're going to structure our days, but
Mhm.
I haven't before thought about how I'm going to make sure I don't burn out, or I make sure that like I don't get into the yellow or the red zone. So this was a good exercise for that.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
Because usually I'm focused on, can I take a client? Can I do this? Can I do that session? Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right, because usually, especially when we are right in the middle, right, we don't even think about, oh, I might actually get into like a yellow or red light
Yeah.
area, right? Because we are just so focused on the work, almost like a tunnel vision at
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. So we were really focused on just getting the work done, where we don't think about making sure we have the stamina to sustain that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I like that exercise there.
Okay, good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad you found this helpful. Because yeah, as you know, as a counselor yourself, the thing is, when we are so focused on our work, we sometimes don't notice when we need to take a break. We tend to actually skip the yellow area, and sometimes we just go from green to red, even though there is technically like a yellow area, but because we are so focused on the work, we sometimes miss the warning signs. And the other thing is, um, one of the reasons why I picked this exercise for today is because sometimes we don't even know those warning signs,
hmm
um, like beforehand.
Yeah.
We only maybe notice the ones when we are already in the red area, but we don't realize, oh, there are actually early warning signs, like those yellow flags.
Yes. So I like the pre-planning and
Yeah.
being aware, like, okay, when do I know that I'm getting, close to my limit or,
Mhm.
close to my capacity or yeah, so it's good to kind of think about that in advance.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's all I had for today. So just wanted to check in if you have any questions, comments, or feedback about today's sessions or any past or future sessions?
No, this was really good. I enjoyed it. I look forward to your next one.